A guy came in who was waiting for an express mail, and it wasn't in, it was on its way to be delivered. He's like, oh, I have to get this. It's Jimmy Buffett tickets. The show's tonight. So I went to my supervisor and I said, these are Jimmy Buffett tickets. This guy was like, Jimmy Buffett. So they called the carrier's cell phone, which they're not supposed to do, brought the piece of mail back to the post office, gave it to him. He was the happiest man in the world. A week later, this gentleman came in and I said, dude, how was the show? He said, I got drunk in the parking lot. I missed the whole thing. Elderly people coming in to change their mailing address, and they need to live with relatives or go to assisted living. I say, how long were you married? Oh, 52 years. He took care of everything. And there's so little that you can do for them, but how wonderful that you were together for so long. There are people who come into the post office that frighten me. I had a woman looking for her government check, and it wasn't there. She was leaning forward and yelling and devastated, desperate. I mean, she needed that money that day. There's a lot more of that these days. When military families stop coming into mail care packages, it's either really good news or it's really bad news. And we usually never get to find out. And that's really hard. And I remember there was this one woman named Ginny, little tiny gal. She was smaller than me, and she would come in every week. 2 or 3 packages she would send to her husband to Afghanistan. And she was so frightened for him. And I got very attached. She stopped coming in. I'm rather politically radical, and I'm married to a woman. And I suppose it took a little bit of bravery to have purple hair at the window, but I try not to put forth something that's going to make them rethink the humanity they might see in front of them. One of my biggest heroes is Quentin Crisp, one of the first openly homosexual men in England back in the 30s and 40s when it was illegal and it could get you killed. He decided that this was who he was and that there was nothing he could do but to be himself. And he loved people. He had his phone number in Manhattan Information. I had heard him say once that if you didn't have your phone number in information, you were stuck only talking to people you knew. I called him on my 31st birthday for a little bit of social advice. I said, I'm getting older. What do you think? Where should I go with my style? And he said, you could always become respectable. And I remember saying to him, well, aren't respectable people boring? He said, if you can get them to tell you the truth about their lives, no one is boring. Well, what do you mean, like dirty little secrets? He's like, no, it's just that they're people. That one sentence, that more than anything, is what I try to remember. I'm still fine-tuning the best way to do that. And after, 10 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week, it can get a little, but every person is a new chance. Every person is a new opportunity. That's why I go into work in the morning. All the differences, they really do melt away. Everybody needs stamps,